Alright, let's move on. We went over the first three components of the administrative scale: a long-term goal, purposes, and org policy. You know, that's sort of the tip of the administrative scale. These three things are kind of basic and fundamental components, but they are really like a locomotive, a word I've already mentioned, and they pull everything else along. And I hope that after doing the exercise, you're more clear on what fits where and how. Let's suppose that a group decided to conquer Paris, or I don't know, conquer the neighbouring universe, whatever they decided. So when the goals have been set, the rules defined, as well as the timelines, when the what-fors and whys, when and by what rules have been figured out, then it all becomes clear. But now the question arises, how are we going to accomplish it? What is the route? And that question has to do with the fourth component of the admin scale called plans. So, as usual, let's give the word a definition. Plans. Short-range, broad intentions as to the contemplated actions envisaged for the handling of a broad area to remedy it, or expand it, or to obstruct or impede an opposition to expansion. A plan is usually based on observation of potentials or resources and expresses a bright idea of how to use them. L. Ron Hubbard. Plans are a very important component. That is, the first three components had to do with certain ideas we had about the goals and purposes, etc. But now we're actually getting down directly to how we're going to accomplish these ideas. You know, very often when this or that Thetan is working out the administrative scale, he gets fired up by some idea, by his or her dream, and soars up into the clouds and says, "Yeah, we're going to conquer this over there, we're going to become company number one easily in just a year, not only in Russia. What's Russia alone? In the whole world." And I want to say that when we defined a plan, there was such a thing there as correct evaluation of resources. And you've probably heard this opinion expressed that, oh, I would start my own business if I had the startup capital. Like anyone can start one with a startup capital. I just want to tell you that working out all the components of the admin scale will resolve in all of them being aligned. That is, if you start working on component 2, purposes, you set yourself this high of a bar. And then when you get into working out the plan, you realize all of a sudden that you don't really have any plan to get to or jump over such a bar. So possibly you have to lower it. Or, in working out a plan, you were just stunned by a revelation. You get this brilliant idea of how you could accomplish this, and you start to realize that possibly the bar is a bit too low, and you could raise it. You see, working out a plan is, in itself, a very interesting endeavor. Possibly, you have this plan in your head. If you're writing an administrative scale for a company or a group, then that plan, that ingenious plan, or that exact brilliant idea could be in the head of some employee, executive, etc. So, in working out a plan, you could get together the core of your company, all the executives, etc., and brainstorm to help find that brilliant idea to reach the lofty heights you envisioned for the company or for your business. There is only one comment to make regarding this brainstorming. There has to be a rule for people when they want to speak up. There are no bad ideas, because otherwise it could go like this. A person says, "Oh, I know how to carry this out. Let's do this and this and that." And the presiding people of the ones in charge of this brainstorming say, "Are you a complete idiot? Why are you even proposing some sort of baloney?" And the one who proposed it will say to himself, "Fine then, to heck with you. I'm not going to tell anybody anything anymore." You know, for this ingenious, brilliant idea to come forth, it possibly has to be the 8th one. Maybe the first 7 are totally stupid ideas. But let them come out, and then the brilliant one will follow after the first few. So this stands up as a rule in brainstorming. There are no stops. Let the people propose even the most ridiculous ideas. So, plans are a very important component of the whole administrative scale. You know, it's like, let's take the president of some country, and he's making this New Year's address to the people. And in that address he says that in healthcare we're going to do this in that coming year, and in defense we're going to do that, and then we're going to take these certain actions in the sphere of education, and all of this is related to our overall strategy. Then the overall strategy gets broken down into more specific plans for various departments, subdivisions, ministries, etc. And the same goes for the company. If the owner, the Thetan of the company, is working on the admin scale, then of course in defining and formulating the plan, the things that come up have to be pretty much general. Strategic things that set the main format or direction of actions to be taken. And so plans are actually work that has to be done in specifically defined time parameters. Alright, let's go on.